Are the orca killer whales raising their offspring toward extinction? Let's dive in on this episode of scitechwave. Orca comes from the Latin name Orcinus orca. A new study recently came out on the biology of orca whales and their male offspring. These findings reveal how mothers who devote all their time, energy, and resources to their sons, and because of this, female orcas are actually keeping their species from reproducing. This could also explain the pattern that has evolved with the orcas and why they have become an endangered species. The study of orca moms investing so much time into their male offspring took place almost a half a century long and followed approximately 40 female orca whales. Researchers were trying to understand why the species was becoming increasingly endangered. The results showed in this particular case study that of the female orca whales that had sons, the mother's chances of giving birth to future offspring reduced by 50%. However, this study was not observed in orcas who gave birth to daughters and what those reproduction numbers were. Researchers involved in the study believe killer orca whale mothers are paying a high cost in terms of their future reproduction in order to keep their sons alive. The study was led by the Center of Research in Animal Behavior at the University of Exeter in the UK, where they focused on the southern resident orca whale population, which usually live off the coast of British Columbia and the United States of Washington and Oregon. The southern resident species of orca whales has been considered endangered since 2005. Another reason this species is dwindling in numbers is that they hunt mostly Chinook salmon, so there is a lack of food source for the orca resident population. The close mother-son relationship actually decreased reproduction rates and also found how orca mothers continued a very close maternal relationship with their male offspring. The study showed that mothers gave their sons half the salmon they caught for themselves. However, that was not the case for the orca daughters, who were generally fed by their mothers only until they reached their own reproductive age. The theory of this behavior is believed to ensure that young male orcas are fed and well cared for, so it could be an attempt by their mothers to increase the overall reproduction of their species population. Theoretically, healthy males will mate with many females, and that ultimately would increase the number of future offspring. But researchers suggest that this is not happening due to the critical state of the orca population, and this strategic move is backfiring on the species and having the opposite effect. The strategy of sacrificing future reproduction to keep their orca sons alive may have been beneficial in their evolutionary past, but it has now potentially threatened the future of the southern resident killer whale population. But first, there is another theory to the orca's future of survival, and to understand this, we must first dive into the history and biology of the orcas. Orcas travel in pods, and their size can range from 14 up to 50 orcas in a pod. And each pod has their own culture and unique whale language of sounds to communicate with one another, making them the most effective predator in the ocean. Their distinctive pattern of black and white serves as a form of camouflage from their prey, similar to how military planes are colored light on the undersides and dark on top. This color pattern makes the whales less visible from both above and below. The theory why orcas don't attack humans in the wild is because they are fussy eaters and only tend to sample what their mothers taught them is safe. Since humans are not a reliable food source in the ocean for the species, this would explain why. Orcas have the second largest brain in the animal kingdom behind the sperm whale, but the size of the brain is relative to the size of the body and key when deciphering complex cognitive tasks. The brain size is measured by encephalization quotient. The human brain is measured at EQ7, the bottlenose dolphin is an EQ4, and the orca is an EQ 2.5. The orca's brains have wrinkle and folding capabilities in the cerebral cortex called gyrification, which allows the brain to handle more data and process information faster. The gyrification index measure in humans is 2.2, dolphins is 5.6, and orcas a 5.7, suggesting that orcas are emotionally intelligent, like humans, and aware of their feelings of others and of their own existence, therefore capable of high-level thinking and feeling, and passing down these life lessons and teaching to their own offspring over a span of many years. Family is important to the orca resident population. Researchers have also discovered that orcas are now working together with the humpback whale species, known to also be their prey. But now some orca pods and the humpback whales are helping one another as they prey and hunt for food sources and feed on shoals of herring fish. The orca whale population is highly intelligent, so much so that they may know more about their future and ability to adapt and thrive in a changing climate and environment more than humans give them credit for. The orcas may be more similar to humans than we thought, with the ability to alter new behavior and survival techniques. Never underestimate the killer whale. Thanks for watching.